That's such a surprise. It almost wiped me out. And I still don't understand it. But I will understand it better.
Well, why don't you explain it a little bit, Grandma?
Well, about how I felt.
How you felt? I'll get an apple. You talk to the camera for a minute.
Well, I don't know if there's no explaining it. It was such a freak accident that nobody can figure out how I could have got the side of my foot so badly injured as it was. And it looked as though there was a compound fracture and a hole was made from the inside. And the skin, the big place, the size of $1, real deep, clear down to the muscle. And the doctor had to cut that off. And that's what's healing now. Healing. They say it's coming on real good, but it seems awful slow to me. But they say I'm doing great, and I'm trying. Since all the kids want me to stay, get well. Turn it off.
It's on forever. Yeah, I tell you what, is that thing, it doesn't cost us nothing to leave it on.
Yeah.
We always reset stuff. You know how the till when that thing is off? Yeah.
No. Do you have to see it flash or something?
Yeah. No, it doesn't do that.
No.
You gotta walk over to the machine. You gotta look in the little thing to see if it's off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then
sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off. You never know.
Right.
So you see, you gotta watch out when you're telling dirty jokes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, if we're about that, I guess we're not going to tell no dirty jokes, are we?
No. What do you have for lunch?
I couldn't tell you. Ask me what. I can remember things 50 years ago, but don't ask me what I had for lunch.
Well,
it's good, though. It's good. Maria cooked me a good lunch.
I'm not getting nosy. I'm just looking to have some.
Oh, you're right. I thought you wanted me to tell the guys what I had for lunch.
No, I want you to tell me.
Okay. That's some stew.
Some stew?
Help yourself.
I would help myself if I could find it.
Well, the last thing I expected to be in a wheelchair myself. I pushed Papa around in this chair. This is Papa's chair. I pushed him around in this for 3 years before he got in bed. I never thought I'd be in it, but I am, and God knows all about it. He knows where I'm at and what I'm up against. And he knows I'd like to, I kind of like a shortcut, but I know that he knows best. And I got this surprise. I had a weekend off, and went up to the Lois's ranch and got to walk all over it and see her garden and her animals.
Yes.
Was having such a good time.
Hey, what would that be?
We had an Easter egg hunt up there. It was really a fun time, real good time.
I'm trying to get some lunch
And
out of
then,
the girl.
all of a sudden, as I got out my chair on the lawn and started walking out, my feet slipped out from under me, and no rocks, no sticks, no stones, just the bank. Just the bank, and I rolled down that bank, and I never got injured so bad nobody could figure it out. And
there's no bread.
I don't know.
Did you buy some?
But I just do my best.
They're always telling the stories. Do I have sandwich?
Lord's never failed me yet.
Grandma?
He's never failed me yet. That's all I know. I know he's not going to fail me now. This took me by surprise. such a surprise.
I don't know if I find him.
And it was so sudden and unexpected and severe that it's kind of scrambled me. And it's 3 weeks and I'm still kind of trying to sort it out. But sure, taking good care of me. The kids have all come to see me and encouraging me to exercise and get well. So that's what I'm doing. Still hoping for. I've had so many miracles. I'm still expecting another one. Don't know just how how it's going to work out, but I'm expecting another miracle. God's mercy endures forever. His grace is so great, according to His great love of God for us all.
You just keep yakking, because I'm making myself a sandwich.
You better turn me off where I talk
Okay.
too much, I guess.
I'll give you a break here. Okay. Yeah, I found a little piece of ham in here and
Oh, you found something to make a sandwich out of, huh?
yeah. Here.
Good.
Yeah, let me get my sandwich made.
Well, I tell you, that's what we do around here an awful lot. Snack.
Oh, you won't too fat for me.
Well, I certainly haven't gained any weight, I'm sure. But I'm not all, my ankles are not all swelled up like they were, though, you know.
Uh-huh.
So I'm better in a lot of ways.
What do you mean better?
Well, I believe I was just getting over that kidney thing when I got hurt. And my blood wasn't very good. And I think my blood's better now, for one thing.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't have that itching, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Scratching. Yeah, that's gone. That's gone. And my feet were swelling. Well, now the one that's not hurt is real thin, real skinny. Shows really how skinny I am. I didn't know I did have such skinny legs.
Yeah. Well, you know that damn David Stewart's are getting skinny.
He's getting too thin, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Sure as heck is.
Well, he's always loved that little girl so much. I hope they get back together and forgive. Little old David, he's got such a good, kind, loving heart. I think he'll forgive her. And I hope she sees before it's too late what a mistake.
Well, it might be, Grandma. There's a possibility that maybe there's a better girl out there for him.
Well, I sure hope there is if she's not coming back. Because he deserves a good girl.
That's right. No matter how you cut it,
He does
he
deserve
deserves
a
one.
good girl. And someone to really love him, to take care of him. Well, she didn't love him to start with at all. Because she made it very plain that she didn't appreciate him at first. But I thought, since they'd been together so long and did so well, that she'd learned to love him and appreciate him.
Yeah. Well, that's, yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's, anyway, it's kind of come around to where it is, and so, He's doing real good. He was working hard there for a while.
Yeah.
He's got it under control. And
You think so now, huh?
yeah.
Well, if he does that, he'll start eating better, eating more.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, the laundromats he's got kind of keeps him. They're kind of a nervous wreck to run, and this ham has sure got a lot of fat on it. Oh, they're good or bad? Here you go, little puppy.
Yeah, give the little dog some, huh?
Yeah.
Well, Lois says she just go out and buy a steak. She's go out and buy a steak and just 2 or 3 little squash and a little bit of vegetable. And then she cooked that big steak and give Papa and I the little piece, the little tender piece, and then she ate the rest of it.
Oh. Well,
Because she likes steak. She never gets tired of it.
what's a piece of meat, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, a lot of the country is getting away from red meat. There's a big movement out there to not eat red meat.
Well, son, the funny thing, those dietitians and people supposed to be smart, they change their mind too often. So everybody has to use their own smart. Most everybody knows what agrees with them and what's good for them. All they need to do is to do it, to eat what's best. Have willpower enough to eat enough and not too much.
Yeah, well, I haven't had any trouble getting rid of red meat.
I can remember my dad, get through eating. We didn't have a lot of good things like have now. But whatever we had, I remember him kind of pushing back and said, well, still tastes good, but I've had enough. See? My father remembers saying that.
Yeah.
Well, that still tastes good, but I had enough. I quit.
Yeah. Well, you're just not used to.
Yeah.
I guess you're not used to eating a lot, but we got kind of used to eating good. You know.
You don't have to eat till it quits tasting good. If you eat till it don't taste good no more, you're usually gorged.
We're talking first-class ham sandwich here.
Well, it took you long enough to make it. It should be good.
You don't buy that?
No.
That's some
That's looking like a dagwood, huh?
kind of like a dagwood.
Yeah. That's good.
Just took
It
some
smells
flour.
like good ham. Well, they had some ham here that was good,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They did. Because I had a little with eggs, and it's real tender and good.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's John and Debbie must have brought that ham over. And they cooked ham and limas. So we had ham and limas for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. Well, that's a good pot of beans. Yeah.
Huh?
That's a good pot of beans.
Yeah. That's Bernice's favorite bean, I think. Anyway, it seemed to be because she and I was the only one that liked them, so we never cooked them very often. And when we was all home, the rest of the gang had kind of squabbled when we cooked ham and limas, so Bernice and I, we kind of stuck together. And we cooked kind that you guys like most of the time. Once in a while, we're going to cook what we like. So that's about all they ever got to get used to lima. But I started cooking them several years, the big white pot, but that big around. Remember, the day after Thanksgiving, and tired of turkey and goodies, and cooked that big, that pot I did was one full, ham and limas, and I done. If I appreciated them as tired of turkey. that way you buy a ham with a bone in to get a good bone to make the best lineman, like Parmesan, and leave enough meat on it.
You know, it's funny, I hated limers when I was growing up.
Yeah, that's kind of makes the best ham lineman.
Well, I can take them now, but maybe that's the kind of stuff that Barbara used to cook, but she gives us lima beans that were just, of course she wasn't much of a cook either, right?
Who?
Barbara.
Oh.
Yeah, and so I can remember as a kid stuffing those beans in my pocket so that my plate would disappear, so my plate would get clean. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
I mean, she's either a terrible cook or the beans didn't.
I guess she wasn't too good at cook because she didn't want to. She didn't like to cook. You never make a good cook if you just hate to cook. Just do it because you have to, you know. Believe me, do it because you have to, but you have to because you love your family and want to feed them, say.
Where'd you learn to cook from?
Huh?
Where'd you learn to cook from?
Well, I just had to cook and started cooking when I was 8 years old. And Mama had Raymond, next to her last baby. Up till then, we had a housekeeper, the same nurse that got Mama up, you know. Her husband, kind of cute little story on that. Dad Mize had some money, and this doctor had ambition. So we got Dad Mize put in a little store there, in Fairfield, a drugstore. Another drugstore. I don't know how the business thrived or anything like that. Dad never told us about it. But we did get Mama up, and his wife was our housekeeper. Well, I guess he lived there. He must have lived there too. I'm not sure about that. But he got him another gal and run off with the store, sold the store and run off with the money.
Dad Mize?
No, the doctor did.
Oh, the doctor did?
Yeah. Yeah. Peggy was named after him. Her name is Theo. Her name is Theo, T-H-E-O. Because they thought so much of him for getting Mama up in her bed.
The doctor?
The doctor. And his name was Theodore Hartman. Theodore Hartman. Well, Mrs. Hartman, we always called her Mrs. Hartman. But she was then he run away. But she stayed with us. She loved Mother an awful lot.
She was the doctor's wife?
Yep. And he got him another gal, and run off with a sold a drugstore, and took another gal, and the money, and left town, left the country. See, that was pioneer days.
Who was Dad Mize?
My daddy.
Oh, your dad?
Yeah.
I thought you had granddad Mize or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Your dad had given him some money to start with?
Yeah. He had the money. The guy had the education. My dad didn't have any education. He could figure out problems faster in his head. You could figure it out on paper, though. You know, he wasn't dumb. Yeah, he did. But no, when Dad finally, after I was grown, we got an inkling of it. Somewhere I heard it gossip. Mentioned it to him, and he laughed about it. He never was mad at him. He's still so glad that he got Mother up on her feet again. And even though he ran away. Well, anyway, she was our housekeeper down in Choctaw Nation until I was 7 years old. She's 7 and 8. And she took good care of Mother and good care of us kids. We didn't have to do anything, you know. Good cook, and it was beautiful. But she had met a guy that was engaged. And Dad sold out and went north. So we left her behind. We went up there, and of course, Dad, I don't know how he was financially, but he took an awful beating selling out that particular time. He didn't get much. He had the woods full of hogs and cattle down there. And he had a good stud horse, and a breeding, and mule, the jack. And he bred animals for people. He had a blacksmith shop. People brought their shop work there, and he did that. You know? And other ways making some money besides just a little bit to eat out of the garden.
So he had a pretty good ranch.
Right. But when he sold out, but up there, he got a little, he heard about all those acres of good land. Now down Choctaw, it's mountains and creeks, just little patches of ground that you could farm, you know what I mean? But Dad knew where to pick the good ones. And that down where he built his house, well, he had good garden and small fields. Not to raise grain to feed his stock. He didn't sell anything, but just a good turnover there. But he sold, when he sold out, he sold a cow and a calf for $15. Cow and a calf, see, what he could catch and round up, and moved, I don't know, from the southeast part of Oklahoma, the Choctaw Nation, up to the northeast, that's straight north. I don't know how many, 300 or 400 miles, I really don't know how far it is, maybe the part. But they moved up there with wagons. Yeah. But Mama and us smaller kids, we went on a train because Mama's brother was a preacher, and he was a pastor of the Methodists. They sent the preachers where they wanted them to go, you know. Well, he was a pastor there, and that's how come right down how healthy it was up there, prairie country. And down below there's a lot of, what's that? Not typhoid, malaria. And got Dad to move up there. And so that's how come him to move.
Moved
He
to the
had
prairie.
way up there and paid, what was 65? I think it's $75 for one old scroungy cow. Sold a cow and a calf down below. Well, that was a milk cow for $75.
That was a lot of money at that time, no, Grandma?
Well, that's how much difference. Yeah.
Where he left, well, of course, there were
And he
probably
took,
not.
I guess he sold his mule, his jack, but he took old Colonel, our stud, with him and led him behind a wagon. A beautiful horse, I can remember him real well. Colonel. And Wesley was big enough. He went in the wagons with Dad, but Mom and us girls went up on the train after. Ruth met us up there. So.
How many kids was there at that time?
Let me see. Well, we had Cleo down to her. There's only 2 more babies born.
Well,
Right up there.
well, who starts at the top?
I mean, huh?
Lottie started. Who started at the top? You were the oldest? You weren't the
No,
oldest.
Lottie was older than me.
Lottie.
Yeah, she's 3 years older than me. So I was 8 and she was 10, you know, in there.
Wesley was older than you? Well,
Wesley was older than her, yeah.
It was Wesley, Lottie, you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Peggy and Cleo.
mhm.
And Raymond and Ruby was born after we moved up there. Yeah.
And Ruby came last.
Yeah. But you know, 2 or 3 years later, buyers went down there in that country. And Mama's brothers and my uncles and relative people lived down there. They sold Dad's stuff. You know, got a lot of, and he had they earmarked all these animals. You know, for turning loose. You know, they marked,
Yeah.
branded and marked them. So they were eating his animals many years after he left down there with their hogs and cattle and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of them were lazy-butted farmers, didn't have anything, you know, they wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Same way everywhere. If you won't work and try, you won't.
Yeah. So your dad had enough of that, and he thought things would be better someplace else, right?
Yeah, he thought he'd do better. Well, when I started saying, now see, on this, you know what a tick is? Gets on animals. Well, the stock down in the mountains, they were used to those ticks, immune to that bite. And when he took his animals up north, I don't know what else, you know, all the best horses, you know, whatever he had, and had that stud for one thing, and they died.
Oh, they
The
did?
stock died, yeah. Just, I remember when the Colonel died, he just, I don't know what's wrong with him, he just tried to pee and tried to pee, first thing he just fell dead.
That's
And I could, just a kid, I remember Dad had, you know, felt sorry for him, felt so bad about his horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing but hard luck. And so, see, now we hadn't had to cook. We hadn't had to do anything. And I remember Mrs. Hartman even did her hair, you know. Took good care of Mom and us kids. But when he got up there, he didn't have no housekeeper. And so the load was dropped on to Lottie and me. Dad was patient and good, I guess, because I never remember him being mean to us. But we had to take up the housekeeping, cooking, washing, and a whole bit.
You guys were 8
Yeah.
or 10, huh?
Yeah, I remember taking, to make bread then, we just kept the biscuit pan always. We made bread 3 times a day. You didn't buy your bread, you made it. So we had what we called our bread pan, kept flour in it. Well, you take and sift your flour over again and add some more flour, make a little hole in the middle, and put your stuff in there to make your biscuits, and then stir it.
Yeah.
That's what Miss Hartman did it, and made biscuits. And then you worked it till you could handle it. But I've watched her make out those biscuits many times, and so, because everyone should pitch them off, and they'd all be about, and go to, turn them in the pan, just everything just right in a row. So, so when I started making biscuits, I took the pan and at Mama's bedside. I guess Raymond must have been born. Maybe I didn't. I can't remember maybe what the beginning of it, what I do remember. Learning to make biscuits. Take the ingredients beside the bed. And let Mama put them in. I took back in there and stirred it up. My grubby hand.
Yeah.
And remember, we struggling trying to make that look like Miss Hartman made them. It was a long ways off.
Yeah.
We had a pan down there. It was cut along like that. And she made 2 rows of biscuits. And then they make a long one across the end for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like a poor man's pie?
Yeah, but that long biscuit was mine.
Yeah.
And I tried to make them. But anyway, we had to learn to cook. We washed this way. But it wasn't long till Dad got whatever equipment that was to be had in the way of washing machine. They got us one that's hand propelled, you know, like shaped like a cradle, you know, and that with a stick overhead you do this way, and that made you to rub your clothes, stir the clothes, and against the rough back. Yeah, it's better than nothing. And then, of course, we'd bring them out. Move from place to place. In some places we lived on, washed out on the creek. Big old black pots sitting there, and we dip the water out of the creek into the pot, heat it, put it in our tubs.
Yeah.
Wash them,
You get a
carry it
lot.
up, and rinse them.
Yeah.
Sure. Wash them. That stuff anyway. But anyway, I started moving. It wasn't a state then, it was Cherokee. That's the Cherokee nation then, from the Choctaw nation to the Cherokee.
And it wasn't safe?
Huh?
And
No, it wasn't a state.
what year was it?
1908. I think it was 1908 before it became a state. I remember writing letters back down to Choctaw. 19, down in Indian Territory. Yeah.
You see Indians?
Huh?
You guys ever see any Indians?
Oh, they were still telling real scary tales.
Oh, were they?
Yeah. And we was afraid of them. And, but we was raising land from an Indian man. Those kids didn't know that, so we don't. Dad, we never knew his business. Never heard Mom and Dad discussing violence.
Yeah.
No, he took care of it.
Hey, Maria,
Yes.
I'll take a half.
Half of what, babe? A half of what you had?
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
So you didn't know how he was doing that. He wasn't doing real good, huh?
Dad?
Yeah.
Well, he did just well. He must have some money because he bought a hay baling machine. And the prairie, the wild grass. He'd go out and mow that down and bale it up and made hay. And so he took his machine and made hay for other people, wherever he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes he did.
How long did you stay in the Cherokee territory?
Well, we stayed up there, well, let's see. We was up there 6 years, I guess. About 6 years. And when we moved up there, Frank's folks was already there. they had come down from Kansas.
Yeah.
See, that's just below the line of Kansas.
Yeah.
Frank was born in Tyro, Kansas, just above the line. But they were already there, but there was no school. And that little souvenir that I have, that first school I used to, well, my dad and Frank's dad and another man named Nisley. Three, and maybe there were more to help them, I don't know, but they were the three main ones. And they built a one-room schoolhouse there. Of course, they made it for church and other things too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when?
Well, that card tells you when that was.
No. What was the name of the place?
One. W-A-N-N. That same little town to Mary Papa.
Really?
He parted there as a teenage kid. And of course, when he moved down, about halfway back down to Choctaw, well, not Choctaw again, of course, back to Oakmont and Muskogee, two towns down there.
Muskogee?
Muskogee and Oakmont.
Also from Muskogee?
Right between Oakmont and Muskogee is a little town called Morris. But at that time, they sent Uncle Ruth down there. So Mom was the cause of Dad dragging around so much. She was. She thought that brother hers, his preacher, you know, she thought he was next to God. So they moved back. But when he didn't move back down there, he didn't mean to stop there. Now, he was heading for California way back then. Because we got brochures out there, orange groves,
yeah.
you know. And he got dreaming about California way back then. But when he pulled out, now I don't know how far he meant to go that trip, but he didn't intend to stop at Morris to keep.
Yeah.
He stopped over to visit Uncle Ruth. And Peggy and Cleo both come down with fever, typhoid fever. And of course they were real sick. You know, it had to run its course, you know. I guess still do, I guess, to get it. But he was real sick. Of course, he'd sold out, and he had money, and he bought a place right there in town.
Yeah.
It must have been a half acre or something, an acre. It had a big barn on it still. You know, it's a little rural town.
How old was your dad then?
Dad? I don't know. But
how old were you?
Well, let's see. I guess then 13. Well, we lived there till I got married. Till after I was married.
You were 13 when you got there?
Yeah. Must have been somewhere about 13.
Yeah.
14. 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't there more than 5. But anyway, he had his wagon and teams, you know, the barn to keep him in. And so he rented farmland out the country ways and went and farmed. So, and also he got to put in cisterns for water there in that little town. You know, a little business, digging cisterns for to catch water off the roof.
Yeah.
You know. And Wesley.
Oh, yeah.
Wesley helped him do that.
And then Wesley got tired of not getting paid?
Yeah, right. He got 21 and he wanted to get paid for his job. How'd you like to live in those days?
Well, it sounds...
in business for your dad, but you didn't get paid till you was 21. Got married and set out on your own. Those farm boys, if the dad was wealthy enough when they got married, or girls either, but to give them a heifer calf and 10 hens and a rooster.
10 hens and a rooster, huh?
Dozen hens, because it was a rooster. And a heifer calf. And if they was real good, they could give them a pig, a sow pig. But that's a good start on the farm. That sounds funny, though.
No, it does sound like
It was a long time before I got any milk out of the calf and eggs out of the chickens. How they got by, I don't know. Maybe they did like Wilford and I did. Maybe they stayed home for 3 or 4 years. Wilford took down sick after he got married, so we didn't have a home for until 3 after. Just the year Roy was born.
So Wilford's family was from in town there? From Morris?
No, his, I don't think Sarah was there when we moved there, but she moved next door to us, Wilford's cousin.
Sarah was...
Now, Ike's mama was Wilford's first cousin, and she had 3 single brothers, and they worked in the oil field. And Sarah's husband had died and left her with five little kids. And so those 3 brothers rented a house next door to us, and they all lived in there. Now, if you think about housing now, you wonder how they did it. But the 3 men And so they made a living for Sarah and the kids. She kept house for them. And that's the way it was until Wesley and her got married. And that's how come you can meet Wilson. Roscoe came first, got acquainted with him next door, and he phoned over to see if he'd take me to the show.
Roscoe did?
Yeah. And Mom and never let me go to the show. I've never been. And I was ashamed to tell him I couldn't go. So I accepted, and then I had to talk her and let me go.
How old were you?
No, I didn't. I told him I couldn't go. Mom wouldn't let me go. 15. So Mom wouldn't let me go. I said, she's never been to a show, and she thinks it kind of it wouldn't be a good place for me to go. And so he invited her to go. Invited my mom to go and took her with us. So we accepted. Then Mom was going to go with me, but after went to the show, and I got to go a few times. But she wasn't completely sold on it because in the movie, you know, you're talking about sex education.
Yeah.
And in the movie, it showed men coming in, and there was Rob in there doing some meanness, and they raised the lid of a chest there and held up some little baby clothes and laughed. See, kind of laughed. Just children. So he thought laughing at her. That's why they treat women pregnant. But anyway, sitting there in the dark too, turned the lights out. Mama didn't quite understand that. So the next day she asked me, wasn't you embarrassed? You know, when they held up the clothes? And
When they held up the baby
no,
clothes?
she said she was embarrassed for me. Held up the clothes. And I told her I didn't say anything bad about it. I thought it's all right.
Well, it was her first movie,
But I
huh?
did get to go a few movies in there. She let me go.
Those were silent movies too, weren't they?
Oh yeah. Right. Right. Silent. You had to read your lines, huh?
I did good on that half challenge.
I'm going to cook dinner here in about half hour.
You are. Well,
Those little trots are so good looking.
boiler.
That's from Bill. Like, I believe.
If you left Bill at that lake long enough, it would be his.
What?
If you left Bill at that lake long enough, it would be his.
You lost wouldn't know what you don't know
Yeah.
what stuff you're talking
Maria was saying that those trout were from Bill's lake.
Oh, yeah. I don't know where he got them, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's Lake Mead, I think.
Yeah, that's your big lake, though.
I mean, you keep a guy like that to
But
keep
he
his,
brought me
keep his nose
he
in
brought me a
business.
jug of water. We just run out of it yesterday before. That he got you go way up there, you know, around them, and then you climb up the side of a cliff or mountain, I guess. Climb up there, and then you go into a cave. That's where I understood it. And you go way back in the cave, and boiling hot water coming out there. Boiling hot water. And Bill goes back in there and steams himself up and for health reasons. Now, I don't, when the water that he brings home to drink, I don't know if it's hot when he catches it, but it does come right out of the mountain, you know. And boy, it's sure good water. Had to run out.
I think it is
Bleach
hot.
in it.
I think it is hot.
No bleach in it, huh?
I think it is hot.
Yeah, it's real. When they catch it in the bucket, I don't know. But it sure is good.
Yeah, I've been to, you know, he gets on the river and he goes up to this thing on the, are you talking about where
Hot
I'm driving or
springs
when
type
he's on a
thing?
boat?
Boat.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, by boat. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times and that's,
Did you go into the cave and see the hot water thing?
yeah, I went into the end of the cave. First time I went with him and Dad, you gotta take your clothes off, you know, you gotta go in there naked.
Why?
You asked Bill that. I don't know why. Yeah. I hadn't thought about it, Grandma. But anyway, you're supposed to go down the cave naked.
I don't know about that.
We're not going to that cave, Grandma.
That settles it.
That's all. Now you blew it, see?
So anyway, you go in the cave and it's kind of like a mine shaft.
Well, you would get wet, I guess, the steam and all that.
Yeah, because you get wet.
Yeah, and what,
Uh-huh.
by the way, where you put your clothes so good.
Yeah, well.
Then you get that when you come out?
No,
You
it's
leave
pretty,
it up the hill, maybe if some robbers come in.
that's right. If somebody else came, you'd be in trouble.
Right.
So you go to you walk in the cave and it goes in maybe 50 yards and stops.
Yeah.
So Bill was my first time in there, and so you couldn't see too good. You kind of hit a match or hit a flashlight or something like that. So we got to the end of the cave with me.
Kind of dark, huh?
Yeah, me, him, and Dad, and we had a flashlight. And Bill was looking around at. I guess Bill hadn't been all the way to the back of the cave right away. And he was looking around and he was admiring some of the rocks
Right.
that were sticking. Pretty much it was kind of a clean side. They chiseled this thing, pretty hard rock, and they chiseled it pretty square going down in the side of the mountain. And so there's a couple pieces of rock sticking out, and there's a couple of rocks down on the floor of this thing. And there's this hot water that's on the floor, and you gotta, it's kind of ooh-ah. It's hot on your feet.
Hot enough to burn your feet, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of hot stepping it.
Yeah.
And, kind of like a hot pavement in the summertime. And so Bill was saying something about he'd like to take one of these rocks,
Yeah.
or said something about admiring a rock. And so I picked up on the rocks on the floor that may got carried in there. I don't know if they're from the side of the wall. And I said, well, that's no problem. Here, we'll knock you off a piece, right? And I went to hit on that rock, and Bill got excited, and he says, no, because
Yeah.
he wasn't concerned about the rock. He said, no, don't be hitting that rock. Don't make no noise in here,
They might fall in.
Yeah, he was. He was saying, and those are pretty
I
solid.
started caving because he didn't know about it.
Yeah, he said, no, don't be stirring nothing up here. We'll just leave it just like it is.
Well, not a lot of people know about it, huh?
Oh, I don't see anybody else there. I don't know how many people
Is it light in the day?
in the cave.
Can it be light in the day if you go in the middle of the day?
We just go in the daytime.
Oh.
I would say that anybody that goes around there much knows about it. But see, all that hot water comes down to the riverside too, and there's other
It
little
goes
places.
into the lake. The hot water comes out, runs into the lake.
Well, it's into the river that comes out
River.
of the lake from below the dam. And if you want to fool around in the hot water, you don't got to walk back in that cave. Walking back in that cave is kind of like being a little adventurous kid.
Yeah, like it might get scalded and don't know what's going to happen to you.
Yeah, they're just back there just daring the boogeyman is all they're doing. And so, I mean, your kids are a little old for that, but they're back
I
there.
don't want to take my big brother with me.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's kind of fun.
Can you only get by boat? I guess you can only get there by
Well,
boat.
yeah, because it's on the side of the river, and it's a kind of a cliff, and so that particular one, but there's got to be more just like that.
You have to climb up a cliff like to get to the
Well,
opening to go into
up
the
a little
cave.
slope up the side of the
Yeah.
hill, just a little bit.
Well, have they made a step there? You just climb to just the natural dirt. It's the natural dirt.
Yeah, see, this isn't any spectacular cave. It's just a mine shaft.
Mine shaft.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not a cave.
Man-made cave.
Man-made, yeah.
Well, I don't blame you for being afraid of all that.
I don't know. It's all nice. It's just like a nice, well-built
Cut
tunnel.
right out of the rock. Huh?
Yeah, cut just as clean as
Right.
like as if these tunnels underneath the hills the cars go through. It's cut that clean. You stoop down a little bit when you walk in
I
it.
wonder why they cut it back in there. Looking for gold, I guess, huh?
You're looking for something that pays. Yeah.
Minerals. That took a lot of work, didn't it? There might have been times when they took out a lot of good stuff out of it.
Yeah. I think Bill just uses it to tell good
It
stories.
was high enough that you could stand up in there. But
Yeah, it's high enough. I mean, if you're a tall guy, you got to bend over a little bit.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah, he kind of likes me. My eyes bug out.
Yeah.
How we doing, Grandma?
Well, I guess I goofed off around long enough. What time is it? Maybe
4:20.
maybe I better take my session opening the door.
Yeah, I was wondering about they open the door and then.
Hmm?
Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah,
That's
maybe I
the only
better.
thing.
Well, you want to lay down?
Yeah, I have to
Okay.
get back up my
She'll
bed
have
for
to lay
that.
down to open that.
You know escort duties?
She's gonna let me.
Well, you can help me and put her in bed and I'll open the thing.
Yeah. I can go back there almost. I think.
Lock, no? Lock there? Well, that time it just relaxed. Now I'm ready to really fall asleep.
Okay, now you get into bed going this direction? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in outside. And you know,
You know, I was having hard trouble. You take the brakes off. I'd
be better, couldn't you?
Yeah, I'd go faster.
Right.
Okay.
Outside the bed, honey. Put the glasses in. I'll show you almost. Gosh, show me almost. Show me how to get up there. I'll too close to the pot because somebody has to get in there. Right there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll man the. Maria's got you fixed up, so she knows how to do this.
Okay. She knows how. Oh, that's all right. I'll fix it. I guess this is a chore if you don't do it, they'll get it. Well,
Too far away?
That's about it. That's good. Now,
Should run
oh,
on the
maybe
bed.
better.
You want to use the potty?
Better go by the pot, but don't make the house. Oh, okay. Just swell to the little. And let's come back. Well, that may go a little closer. That's it. And that. Okay. Around. All the way around.
Put your puppy down.
Yeah, and then the chair. Now. Oh, yeah.
People. For the camera and me.
Where's my afternoon nap?
Yeah, too busy jawing here.
It's all too late, Grandma.
Yeah.
You want to get some pictures in your rose gallery here.
Hey,
That looks like Amanda.
Kurt, you better not get a picture of this. I'll kill you.
No, we're in the rose gallery, Grandma. I'll be darned.
What rose garden are you at?
So my flutter ends will hit the ground. Way back.
It's getting easier, isn't it?
Is that big? Oh, that boy's one showed me how to do that.
Oh, good.
You want me to flash?
Yes.
You want me to flash? You're not going to set that so I'll go to sleep.
I don't want you to go to sleep yet. Boy, I wish this Windows thing latch will.
My pants up, my back. Back up.
Yeah. You seem to be bending more easy and you know,
Me?
more flexible.
Yeah, I'm getting
That's
better.
great.
Yeah. I'm getting stronger.
Good.
Hold on.
That's when you leg
Up
up.
here. Let me see how I get that. Okay. Need more light? I can have it.
My eyes have been a little bit cloudy today. I don't know why.
Stuck?
A little bit, and we're
Well,
pretty good.
That's okay.
Okay.
Unless it's stuck hard.
Yeah,
It's always
I'm
stuck.
gonna go easy.
It's always stuck a little. Unless
Yeah.
it's stuck hard, but you can put some water in it. Turn the overhead light on. This light.
Yeah, I just cannot see it.
Yeah, that's like. Yeah, let me see that.
It's almost like your foot's turned in there.
Not
because
sure.
because the wound is kind of moving over this way. And
Well, my foot does turn in there some. It does, but mine has worked as well. Well, you see what the girls are talking about now, can't you? How it looks like the dirty cotton laying out on the alley on the floor.
The drainage
Yep.
is coming from this part, and it's draining down on the boo-boo this way. That's my question. Maria seems to think that they have to, if they do open, they will have to drill all the way this far in order to get it like this. See how the heel in here?
yeah, I think so too. I think they need to cut this thing up a little bit more. And get it over on
But you know,
this clean stuff.
now, they sure would have to cover that good, because that saw makes a lot of dust. And it's really
have to
rugged.
Well, they
hard.
could rinse it.
Jar.
They will have to be
this rugged.
Yeah, or they do that and they cover it. Now, they bring a saw out here, you
No,
know?
they wouldn't, I don't imagine you'd have to go to the hospital. Now, when I go in, the best month over 26th, you have an appointment to go to the bone doctor. Then there may be some changes, but up until then.
Well, it's next Friday.
Because Lois has already called him, and the nurse, she has to recommend it to the doctor that he should, you know, and then the doctor will have put on Medicare and get permission, go through quite a procedure to
To
get on Medicare.
to get this on Medicare?
Yeah, to get that extra work.
Oh, what, just to cut this cast?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I said, yeah, that's
we
what
could do that right here.
How much?
she
No.
said.
Oh,
What I was telling her
It's
was
quite a
that,
machine to cut that. That's,
yeah, it's a, I seen this, the medical
Well,
software.
anyway,
well, we could cut
the
that.
girls took this morning, the two Marias, they took something, lifted that up off of it.
Yeah,
and
you know,
cut
I see I
some.
got in with the tweezers, long tweezers, and just left the layer layers of God.
I think just push it up off of it.
Yeah.
Just keep pushing it up
And
off
it
of
is
it.
rock.
And cleaning it. That's what we're going to have settled it, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well,
Because the
Grandma,
nurse didn't think it needed it. And Donna, she's one of the
But I'm
nurses.
saying they should be calling the community and should not be why have they done that?
well, I think it's just kind of a fluke deal that the wound appears to be rotating into the, like either they didn't cut the hole exactly in the right place,
Yeah.
or the wound is kind of rotating over towards the top end of the
They
top
got
of the
it,
hole.
they got me to guess at it, you know.
Yeah, where it was, yeah.
That's what it is.
I just say is that they cut another inch off of this right here, just bring this up another inch, and we're talking peanuts here, we're talking, you know, we could, a little salt will cut that is nothing.
You really want to get that dust out of it, so
Well,
maybe you had covered it up.
you could cover it. It wouldn't be hard to cover it. You could cover it like normal. Just go ahead and cut
No.
notch this thing out, and then.
See, the nurses thinks it's healing. You're doing all right. And they kind of go up in there, they peek up in there, it hurts. I said, that don't hurt. Well, yeah, but they have hurt too. They clean it up. That's all
Yeah.
we're going to do.
Well, because it's just a little bit gooey at the top end. Because it's the bottom end where it's.
Yeah, it's dried out. It's drying out.
It looks just right.
Yep.
You don't want it to get infected though.
No, we're not going to.
So,
That's the way it done it. Just thought that was all right. So her report to the doctor's like that idea. And
Donna?
none of the nurse, you know, but all nurse. I think I don't believe that I don't think she believes that will get infected there, or get it and heal it.
Well, that's just kind of some murky looking stuff right here.
Well, she called that, she says it's not infection yet, anyway. She called that drainage, it's not pus.
Okay.
Not
So it's okay.
Regular drainage, yeah.
It's okay kind of stuff.
Regular drainage, and it has to be cleaned off. Have to keep all that rubbish off. Clean it off. That's all the girls do. Swab away and clean it. Pray.
Yeah, well, it does have to be cleaned because you can't have the gunk on top of that one there. Even if it's just regular stuff. I think there's nothing in the kitchen.
My arm was all tingly and it makes your hand kind of burn, or
I got it in my knee.
so you know you run on knees,
Yeah.
it's a weird sensation.
I see that part of me. Okay. Okay. I see.
You guys got to stick around till Lois shows up, is that it?
Generally, yeah. Not really, but that's, we're not in a hurry.
Nice.
What time did you guys get here? Friday night or something? Friday night? Gosh.
Must be home before dark?
No,
No.
you can be home at 6:30.
Dad said be home at 6:30. Yeah.
Look at that, what a crew, huh?
Okay.
Okay, there's Mattie Cullison, point a finger.
You actually running now?
Yeah, we're running right now. You got a little pointer in there, point of grandma.
Yeah. I don't think I can't do both things. We need a pointer here. You got it?
Yeah, we need to drop down so we don't. Right
The
there.
shadow covered her up, but that's Mattie Cullison in the dark dress right there.
With a white belt on. And her school class, it looked like she's probably 8 or 6 or something like that.
Very young.
Very young, that's right. I guess this is one of the schools where one building covers all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this your knees? Look at what Becky's serving. You show yourself some of that. You want some of this?
That's what
With
it is?
ice cream?
It's still hot.
Kiss
You
that.
have that one.
No, too much.
Okay.
Okay, anything else on this camera, Carmen?